Hey, this is gonna be a 3-year review of the Klein ModBox setup to kind of follow up with my previous video that was out, I think 2 years ago, a year and some change. I can't remember, but I'm gonna show you just 3 years of absolute abuse, neglect. Almost trying to break something looks like for this Klein ModBox setup. Alrighty, and if you hear my dogs, I apologize. They're right next to me in their cage, so they'll probably be whining and crying, trying to get out. So here's some wear and tear on the drawer. Now, what I've noticed is if this drawer is all the way on the bottom, say you got it stacked up in your van, truck, whatever. If this is in the bottom with a lot of weight on it, this will not want to open. It'll be a struggle to open it, and then when you do get it open, a lot of weight is on it. It will not close right, and you almost have to kick it. If it's anywhere else that doesn't have a ton of weight, I'm talking like full of like washers and nuts and stuff. I'm not talking like power tools that are light. If it's got a ton of weight on it, it's just gonna act up a little bit. The lock holds really good. It's made out of metal, which is super awesome. You can tell I have not been kind to these boxes. Honestly, you would think that I'm trying to like beat them up, tear them up, whatever. These are impact points from when giant 2,000-foot armored fiber optic cable reels roll into it because they weren't strapped down, whatever. You can tell just how much abuse this thing really takes. Yeah, it's pretty bad, but it goes to show just how tough these are. Now, I will say, after being beat up a lot, that is not going to go back in here. It was really bad, but with this being metal, you can bend it back a little bit. That was about as good bending back as I can get it. All you got to do is very gently push it and then push it down. Problem solved. Not the end of the world. It's not a reason not to buy this at all. Comes up, it meets in here really well. There's no problem there. And then it's locked. So these I've had for even longer. This sucker, I used to have 2 of these rolling boxes, but I actually sold one because I didn't use 2 all the time, and I'd rather have the one with the drawers. So if you see this one and the one with the drawers, I would honestly just get the one with the drawers. This is nice. It has a ton of storage. You can put a shop vac, DeWalt shop vac, 2-gallon shop vac in there. Fits perfectly, which is crazy because that's a big shop vac. Lots of power tool storage. But the problem is if it's down here, and I got all this up here, man, I do not want to have to take all this down. I'd rather have my solid box up on the top. The problem with these is that they're so expensive that, it's really hard for me to buy more of these drawers. That was what happened when it got hit with the fiber reel. You can see there's clips and stuff. You just kind of smack it back into place. Good as new. Like I said, I've been trying to destroy these almost. These hooks are really, really good. I love these hooks. What I'll do is I'll take this and this and I'll separate them, put a piece of 1-inch conduit with some banana cable reels, and it's strong enough to not break under all those banana cable reels as we're pulling. So really nice, basically like a ghetto racketeer setup. Good for holding stuff, whatever you might have. I'll move a little bit of this stuff off so I can show you the rest. So this is new. This is purchased within the last month. So I can't tell you much about durability other than it feels really solid. I had some gift cards There's no way I would ever pay $100 for this ever. eBay or something, I don't know, get on eBay for 50 bucks. It'd be great for 50 bucks. I paid like 20 because I had a bunch of gift cards, but plenty of room, plenty of storage. I love the little light clip. I don't think I'd ever use it like as a light, but if I took it off and needed to look for something, go in the ceiling, whatever. Yeah, like I said, I'm not sure that I would just use it as a light like that. All right. Here is the cooler. Now, I really hate to say it, but this cooler kind of sucks. If it's hot out, it's not going to really insulate water too good. I mean, maybe I got a defective one. You know, I hope I got a defective one for everybody else's sake. But honestly, these just... they're good if you know you're going to eat everything that you bring in one day and, you know, lunch is at noon or something. But, I mean, if it's really, really hot out and you put some frozen water bottles in here, water bottles will be thawed. And I live in North Carolina. It's not Texas, but it's not like, you know, Washington State where it's cold either. So, would I buy it again? I'd buy it with a gift card just because it stacks. And, I mean, worst case scenario, it's a good little storage tote. These little suckers are really nice too. I've got one of these clipped on the inside of here with some like toggle bolts. You know, that works really good. I like these a lot. I've noticed if you put like this on the side and you put hooks on the side, you are not going to be getting through a normal sized doorway. It just sucks. Hate to say it, but you know, you got to take something off. Otherwise, you're going to ram into the side of a door. Forgot to mention this little water bottle holder. It's kind of more of a gimmick for me. I mean, I put a water in there every once in a while, but meh. All right, what else we got? So we got like the drawers, or not the drawers, the little half-sized whatever, you know, cabinets. I really wish instead of these ones right here, I wish I bought the half size, you know, the quarter ones, because a lot of what I deal with the little screws and stuff, you know, little beanies, all sorts of things, and it's really just, these are really deep, so it's hard to fill them up, and there's not a lot of room for different things in there. But if I had, instead of 4 of these, 8 of the half size ones, man, that would just be perfect. You know. All right, now we come down to this other drawer. Now what you're gonna see is what I was talking about earlier, how if it's got all of this weight on it, it's not going to be a fun time. So, you know, I'm going to try to use one finger. Oh, you know, all this weight will actually compress down onto this and make this a little bit shorter. If none of that was here, this would slide right in, you know, no problem. But with all that weight, just be mindful, because you're really gonna have to... Oh my goodness. You know, you can kind of see where it's missing the mark right there. And if you just kind of... Golly, I don't even know if there is a way to finesse it. But that just goes to show these were not designed to have weight on them. I mean, you can see there's not a lot of stuff here. I will tell you that there are a bunch of sockets and impact wrench and some like pieces of iron in this one. All the weight's probably in here. Plus all this stuff, you know, it's just not ideal. So, but it's part of the review. These also, I've been very rough on them. This one doesn't look quite as bad, but I have put it through the ringer. You know, dents where hard things have hit it. Scuff marks, scratches. I've been really rough. You know, I've treated this almost as if it's not even mine. You know, like it's a, like it's just something that I can destroy and I'd get a new one. You know, but good for holding batteries. It's about the perfect size, height-wise, for like a big ol' 8 amp, and then you can use about 1, 2, 3 before you have to put in like a short one on the side. And it is tall enough, or deep enough rather, to perfectly slide that in. You know, things like, there's just a lot of drawer space. Another thing is when all that weight's on it, the drawers act a little funny. If none of that weight was on there, it wouldn't be, you know, sucking out other bins like it has been. See that? But it's just part of the review. All in all, these boxes are really tough. I've got coworkers that use the Milwaukee ones. I like the Milwaukee ones. I would say they're the same quality, you know, just about. Milwaukee might be a tad more expensive. You know, they're coming out with a newer drawer system. I'm excited to see that in both the Milwaukee and the Klein. If I had to rebuy everything, I would go with the drawer version of that, which at the time was not out, so that's why I didn't do it to begin with. I would probably opt out of getting any of the lid ones that are this size. They really just don't have a place. I hate to say it. I'd rather use these half-sized ones right here with the lids. Those are really nice. These, maybe I'd do 2 of these, and then, you know, 4 of the quarter ones. No complaints with that. Absolutely, I'm in love with this thing right now. And then the cooler, man, that just... I had such high hopes for this cooler, but it just is not the best. I don't know if I'd get that. But yeah, that's just basically the 3-year review of all this stuff. I mean, I beat the tar out of it. No regards whatsoever for, you know, any of that stuff. I've rolled it off my van. It's fallen off my van. It's been hit with fiber reels that look like the freaking boulder from Indiana Jones. I mean, just everything, basically. So, you know, it's been through the ringer. So, let me know if you have any questions about this stuff. I know in the last video I tried to comment to everybody that had a comment, but if you want to know any more about this stuff, know exactly the extents of my abuse, which are pretty bad, just let me know. And you know, I'm not like a die-hard Klein fan. You'd be mistaken looking at this stuff, but this has definitely made me a fan for sure with the durability and quality, especially of the abuse that it's undertaken. So I appreciate you watching this, well, 13, 14 minute long video now, and guess I'll see you next time.